Photography by Phil Thatch, Heather Boyd, and the Ray Soldano with vlogging on a Nikon ZFC camera. Hello, it's Phil Thatch, and I'm here at Nick and Norman's at the Chattanooga Choo Choo, having a Chestnut Street brown ale with the Ray Soldano. Ray has brought his Nikon Z6II with battery grip and the Tamron 70-200 f2.8 G2. Over here is Heather. She's cute, and she is carrying a Nikon Z50 with the Tamron 18-400.
That's actually the 45 1.8 right there.
Oh, you switched to the 45 1.8? Okay, awesome. But she got all sorts of stuff.
I got the 18-400 and the 10-24.
Awesome. Meanwhile, I'm carrying the Canon R6 with a genuine Canon lens, the 24-70 f2.8 L lens. While we were eating, Ray made a photograph of me playing around with the Nikon ZFC that I was using to vlog, and Heather made a photograph of her beer, much like I made a video clip of my beer earlier, and then our food came out. Look at that meatloaf. Looks pretty good. Got a burger somewhere in that bag. Oh, is it, and the bun is made of lechuga?
Lechuga.
It's a lettuce bun. That's pretty cool. Raymond is eating his burger, and he's got some sort of potato medley down there. It looks pretty good. Dinner was great at Nick and Norman's. We really enjoyed it. And Nick and Norman's is here at the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and now we are hanging out at the Choo Choo and doing some photography. So let's see what kind of photos we can get here. I made this photograph in the lobby of the Chattanooga Choo Choo before we went out into the courtyard area. I went over and I tried it one time and I didn't like what I got, and then I walked by and tried again, and I was still not happy with it, but I knew that there was something there. I thought these two ladies were really interesting, and I went by again and just sat down across from them in a rocking chair, zoomed all the way to 70 millimeters, and made this shot. And it's probably my favorite photo of mine of the evening. Heather made this photograph as we headed out into the courtyard area there at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. I love this Chattanooga sign, but I usually take my photos of it from the other side. And this photo here that I made is from the other side, and there's kind of leading lines of people. You got the man with the stroller, and then the lady, and then the couple making a selfie leading up to the Chattanooga sign. Heather made this photograph of me there in the courtyard area of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and I really like the way this photo came out. She was using her 45mm f1.8 Tamron lens, and here is a photograph that Ray made of the front of the train there in the Choo Choo. I've never seen anybody make a shot quite like this. Very creative, and he didn't share all his photos, so I'll put a link in the description to the rest of his photos. And here is a mother and a couple of children there at the fountain area with the frogs that spit the water. I think those are really cute. And then here is a photograph I made of Heather standing in front of that fountain with the sun setting in the background. And if you're looking at this on a large monitor, you can see lots of bokeh balls all over the place. I made a backlit photograph of Heather and Raymond as they were, I think, taking a photograph of me. And this next photo is the one that Heather made of me during that time. I think maybe right before I made my shot or right after she made this shot of me. Here's a photograph I made of a youngster running across the courtyard there at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. I thought that turned out really nice. I love those light posts. They make for great leading lines. And then Heather made this photograph of me and Ray acting like idiots, which is not much of an act. We were having a good old time there at the Choo Choo, and I made this photograph of this couple as they were walking through the courtyard area. I thought they were pretty interesting to look at as they walked through. All right, well, we made photographs inside the courtyard, and that was fun, and now we have stepped outside of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and we are here on Market Street. That's the Choo Choo behind me there, and Market Street is pretty cool. There's lots of great opportunities to do photography here, and you can see that Heather's down there working with the Tamron 18-400, and Mr. Soldano, the Ray Soldano, is over here working with the 70-200. And here comes some people. Heather made this photograph there on Market Street. She had switched to her 18-400 Tamron, which she can get street photography photos from a long way away with that shot. And I decided that I would try some panning blurs. I did a lot of panning blurs last year, but I haven't done a whole lot this year. And this is the first panning blur with my new Canon camera. And not to be outdone, Heather did a panning blur with the Z50 and her Tamron 18-400. Both of us chose 1/40th of a second. Raymond got a photograph of this guy as he was cruising in front of the Choo Choo there, and it turned out really nice. And then Heather made this awesome photograph, panning blur of a Corvette as it went in front of the Chattanooga Choo Choo. And I made one more panning blur in front of the Choo Choo. Heather chose a much cooler car to make a panning blur of than I did, but this panning blur still came out okay. All right, now we have come down to Station Street, which is just right around the corner from the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Doing a little bit of photography here. Got a little live music going on. I didn't make any live music photos, but I think maybe some of the other ones might have. But we're going to do some pictures here and maybe move along someplace else. I didn't get any photographs there on Station Street that I like, but Heather shared 2 or 3 with us. And the first one is this portrait she made of me with some peace signs behind me there on a wall. And then she made this nice low angle shot of this motorcycle that was there in front of, I guess, the Comedy Catch. And she also made a photograph which has lots of blue hour and interesting light of this breakfast and lunch and the best darn biscuit in Tennessee sign. And then we went over to Main Street, which kind of intersects with Market Street there, and I made this shot. Not perfectly in focus, but I liked him smiling at me of this motorcycle going by. And then there was a hair salon there at Blue Hour, still in operation, and I peered through the window and made this photograph. And then I made a photograph of this police car as it was going by. And look, the rear disc brake is reflecting some red light that was coming from behind me. I thought that looked really cool. And the police officer is looking at me. Then we went back around to Market Street, and I worked on some more panning blurs. This guy has got it figured out. He's driving possibly the funnest to drive car ever made, and he's working for Domino's and delivering pizza. So he has figured out a way to earn money while driving the funnest car ever made. I really like this shot, even though some of the car's cut off. And I did some more panning blurs there on Market Street, and this is looking down straight Station Street. The lights go across the street there on Station Street. Here is a photograph that Ray sent in of one of the electric buses as it was going down Market Street in front of Station Street. And I'll put a link to the photos that Ray made that night. He didn't share all of his photos with us, just a few, but I'll put a link to the Facebook area where the rest of those photos are. And then I did one more photograph of a couple of cars as they were going down Market Street in front of the terminal. All right, we have had a nice night of photography and food, and somebody just lost something in the road. That was pretty crazy. We've done photographs all over the Choo Choo, and we had dinner at Nick and Norman's, and we did some photography over on Main Street, and we did panning blurs. I think mostly panning blurs tonight. So there goes a motorcycle. We hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up, much appreciated. And somebody just ran over that thing that other car dropped. And as always, we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Everybody wave bye-bye. Oh, sorry, Heather. All right, that's good.